This time on Slickworks, I get done what I should have got done about a week ago. Hello, beautiful. Okay. All right. So now we are in, man, the bodywork looks really good. We are in a sealer coat. There should have been paint gone on after this, but we ran into some sags. We ran into runs. We ran into fish eyeing like crazy, even though I washed this thing twice. So this time we have to sand this whole thing down in the booth, unfortunately, which I absolutely hate doing, but I'm gonna clean the booth real well before we go to paint. So hopefully at the end of today, this thing will be ready for its color coat and get it painted and clear coated. So hopefully by the end of today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. So I'm gonna drop my camera in the corner, set this thing up on a hyperlapse, and away we go. I've been at it for 3.5 hours and I'm about 10% done. Great. So is sanding anything in the booth okay? No, absolutely not. Why am I doing this? Because the nose was incredibly intricate to mask and I cannot move the car with the nose up even a little bit. Otherwise it'll bottom out on the way out of the paint booth. Not only that, but the car is up in the air. The wheels are off of it, obviously. This whole section here was very difficult to mask. So also this was also very difficult to mask. All in all, it's just been a difficult situation, okay? But I'm taking the necessary precautions. I've got the booth filters all masked off back there. I have sanded in the booth before with the 56 Suburban paint job that I did. And that wasn't really critical because it was going to matte clear and it was a patina job, but this one much more critical. So this booth is going to get a surgical wash at the end of this job. So I would not recommend sanding anything in the paint booth. It is the wrong thing to do unless you absolutely have to, which is the situation that I'm in now. Now that I got that disclaimer out of the way, back to work on it. Yay! All right, guys, it has been days and days, and the car is finally fully sanded out in 600 grit. So now I gotta wash the whole booth, floor to ceiling, and then ceiling to floor. Yeah, this is gonna be a full day and probably a full night's work, but it will be worth it. I'm actually gonna do a more intense clean than I've ever done in this booth before. Well, just getting this thing all washed off right now. It is looking pretty sweet. Also, I bumped up my camera to 60 frames per second, so much smoother now. So, final wipe on the doors, and still I found a pinhole. Look at that. How did I see that? Very well trained eyes. Well, here we go. Tonight's the night. Body's all clean. Just have a few little holes I gotta mask up, and 3 or 4 or 5 more pinholes that I found. But tonight's the night. So for this paint job, because I've had so many issues with it, I'm just gonna set my camera on a hyperlapse, put it on that stand right there after wrapping it up in saran wrap, cling film, whatever you call it, where you're from, and go to town. So here we go. Okay, so before I tack rag this thing down and paint it, I gotta mix up some paint and get my paint suit on and pump myself up. This is gonna be interesting. How many of these am I gonna need? 5? We'll start with 5. That'll be enough for a good first coat. Brand new tack rag, check. So how I'm gonna do this, carbon filters, check. This is what I'm gonna be spraying with. This is my my Iwata LPH 400. That's my base coat gun. Clear coat gun is gonna be my 5000 RP SATA. But before any of that, I'm gonna get my SATA mini jet out, and just because there's a lot of really weird angles, especially where the nose meets up with the cowl, so I'm gonna just make sure I get a full coat of paint on all that before I hook up my Iwata, and then do my get my big spread on there for a nice even coat across the whole body. Yeah, so paint suit. Let's get that on. Let's put this on real quick. Okay, now here we go. So I went ahead and shot it. The color is absolutely gorgeous. Just off the gun, it looks just beautiful. It is fully cured up now, so now is the time that we start scuffing down all the panels, scuff the whole car down. We've got 2 different color whites, so this is Wimbledon white. That's the older one, that's a newer one. We're going to the newer one. Less creamy, more white. Just suits the color a little better. But yeah, the camera can't even pick up how beautiful this color is. Actually, I'll show you the lighting that I prefer to show this color with, because I find a more natural light is that. Ooh, yep. Beautiful, right? Yep, this is when all the hard work of getting all the body panels straight and beautiful pays off. There's still a little bit of waves here and there, and definitely a bunch of dust in it, but at this point, that doesn't really matter. So we're leaving all the dust nibs, we're just scuffing it, and then once the white stripes go down with a big dot on the hood and the section masked off on the end panel, then this thing is gonna get 4 coats of clear, and then full wet sand and polish after assembly. Doors look really good too, except this one has to be repainted, unfortunately. I'll show you why. The only little screw up in the whole job, I don't even know how that happened. The whole rest of everything is perfect. No tiger stripes, no modeling. Yeah, but we'll correct that, no problem. So today is the day that I take the shine off this thing. I'm gonna grab some red Scotch-Brite and scuff the whole car down, get it ready for some stripes, leaving it all masked up in the booth, of course. But before we mask the stripes, I have to cut the masking, and then there's actually a tire sitting on the engine that's holding the nose up so that I could get paint in behind here. Yeah, also, if you missed it in the last episode, wasn't sure how to mask these off. Toothpicks. Yep, toothpicks to the rescue. Worked perfectly. Okay, let's get this thing scuffed down. Looks like my help got here before I did. Slickworks VIP! Car is fully scuffed out and looking very ugly. I just got Dad scuffing the spoiler and the scoops. Both doors here have to be repainted. That one, I showed you guys a mistake on that. This one was a little light right on this edge here. So if someone was standing just at this angle, it might be a different color. So I'm gonna address that, just blowing a little bit of red. And then we are gonna figure out how we're gonna do a perfect dot on the hood here and stripes running symmetrically down the middle of the car. And this will be fully cleaned and masked out tonight. The doors are gonna get base coated tonight. Stripes are gonna get painted tomorrow, and the whole car is getting 4 coats of clear tomorrow. Okay, another day in the shop and another day behind on what I want to do. So I tried yesterday, I could not mask out a perfect circle. It just wasn't working out. So I got a circle cut out with my Cricut machine. So this is a 16-inch dot. This is permanent vinyl, so I need to dumb down the adhesive a little bit so that I can use it as a mask. So I got 2 circle halves, a little bit more than halves actually, so I could line it up properly. So once this dot is in the dead center of the nose, I need a mask around it, probably with 1/2-inch tape, because we need a gap from the stripes to the white dot. See, I've used glass cleaner to stick the 2 together, so now I'm squeegeeing out the glass cleaner from between the 2 sheets so that the adhesive sticks them together. And then I have an idea for dumbing down the adhesive to make it a mask instead of a decal, or a decal for my American viewers. We say decal here in Canada. Fun fact, decal. Put this decal on the car. All right. Perfect dot, but I'm still not satisfied with how much adhesive is on the back. So I'm gonna get some polish and rub it on there. Okay, got a good amount of blue number 3 polish on there. Mostly to use as a barrier so it doesn't stick itself permanently to the hood, but also so I got a little wiggle room to move it around so I get the placement perfect. Nope, actually it's gotta move up. Okay, that's good. Making some progress now, getting the stripes laid out. So I'm using 4 pieces of 1.5-inch masking tape, which is not exactly 1.5 inch. So each stripe is 5 3/4 inch wide, and it is perfect. Yeah, that's the perfect width, exactly the look we're going for. So I'm gonna carry on over the top of the car, and yeah, we'll see how it goes with this hump, because I know that side being way thinner than that side, because whoever originally put this car together put the engine in off to one side. I know that's gonna make our stripes look a little weird, but we'll see when we get there. Well, it's looking more and more stripy, but I am not happy with this. Look at that. So with the stripes being white, we're gonna have a fat white line there and an itty bitty skinny little white line there, and that is not gonna look good. So talking to the owner right now, I'm thinking maybe we'll try and lose the stripes somewhere in here, and then whatever radius we lose the stripes at, we'll pick that up on the roof and then do the same curve and then take it on off the back of the car, if that makes sense. But right as it sits right now, I don't like that. I do not want to paint that on there. Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. Because we got the dot there and the radius of that dot, I think maybe we should put that guy right about there and use these two curves to lose the stripes. And then using that same curve, pick it up on the roof. I think that is the best shot of it looking good at this point in time. So I'm gonna go ahead, run a little tape around there, and then I'm gonna take a photo, send it off to Kevin, the customer, and see if he likes it. Let's hope he does, because I really don't like that. Well, it's interesting. So I'm giving him some options here, okay? Here we got option number 1. And here we have option number 2, which is probably what I would go with. So we got the dot, and then it goes up, cuts off there, and then we'll use the that same curve to pick up the stripes on the roof. So I'm thinking that's what we're gonna end up doing, but it's not my car, so I don't know. Well, I've just drawn up this quick blueprint on my computer, so hopefully he likes it. Using the same radius with the dot for that circle, and then using the same on the roof also. We pick the stripes back up. Back in the shop, 10:30 at night, and I've decided the stripes need to be wider. So I'm gonna add 3/4 of an inch thickness onto each side and go from there. Okay, 12:49 at night in the morning, and I must say, this is gonna look pretty slick, if I do say so myself. Yeah. Well, friends, I've just talked to Kevin, and we're switching gears. We're switching gears a little bit. So the plan with this car went from nothing down the side to everything down the side, and now back to nothing, because we were gonna put Carroll Shelby here, dot on the door, GT, sponsor decals up here. But now the doors are going to stay clean. The whole side of the car is going to stay clean because the budget is getting a little bit overwhelming. So we're basically out of budget. What it is, he wants to retire, and I don't blame him. He's earned it. And he wants to sell this car, as well as his Phase 3 Roush Mustang. And I don't blame him, because he's worked hard for a long time. So this can be put away, filed in the bin, and yeah, we're going to paint the white into the car. So the stripes are on the car and they look awesome, but we got these inevitable little blow-by sections in all the really tight corners. Now this, not that important because there's gonna be a rubber there so no one will see it anyways. This, more likely someone will see it, and there's some on the spoiler that people will definitely see. But I have a trick that I learned from Adam Paul, Time Warp Custom Paint on YouTube, Limeline Paint Supply, And speaking of, if you're a custom painter or like restoring cool old stuff, check out limelinepaintsupply.com. Use SlickWorks as a coupon code and you'll get 10% off. Now, back to this. So my buddy Adam taught us that you can use an X-Acto knife to scrape away just a little bit of paint, and that's why we have the clear coat as a barrier between the red and the stripes, in case stuff like this happens. On flat surfaces, this works really, really well. On this little tight corner, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and get a little bit of sandpaper in there and sand it out. Well, the X-Acto knife definitely gave me a head start on my work here. Also cleaned up the line. Also, I wanted to point out, before I ran this tape, I stuck the tape against my shirt a couple times just to take some of the adhesive stickiness off of it, because the last thing we need is to pull this off and have it peel back a section of white. That would be tragedy. Well. I was planning on clear coating the car tonight, but there's a few extra things that I need to do before clearing it, so I'm gonna clear it tomorrow during the day. Things like swapping out the booth filter. Also, something happened today. There was a little drippy drip, not even, it was just like a little sag and sort of a half a drip in the white, so I sanded it. Turns out that was in the red, not the white, and I just didn't notice it before. No problem. Here's some nighttime sounds at the Slick Works shop. It is 1:30 in the morning. I'll take you outside. The car is cleaned with glass cleaner and mild degreaser or final wipe. The floor is wet. I'm gonna suit up and shoot some clear on this thing. Y'all ready for this? Boom! Oh, baby. That looks good. Just needs a little wet sand polish action. Spider in the booth, that's not good. Needs a little wet sand and polish, but the paint is done and looks pretty dang sweet. Stripe turned out really good. I'm very pleased with this one, very pleased. So I've already gone ahead and got a jump start on assembly. So I got some new weather stripping cut in there. Also added this is nice, eh? Clean up that raw edge a little bit. Yeah, just a nice little touch. Brand new weather stripping around the hatch glass here. So yeah, today what's on the menu is getting the exhaust pipes on it. And then I'm gonna start working back here because I know I have to drop the fuel tank to get the taillights and the license plate light and a bunch of other stuff in there. So that's what I'm gonna be working on today. Well, the exhaust is on, and I have a new example of something unfortunate that we run into. It's on, and it looks okay, but the front is sticking out much further than the rear. And I have it adjusted out, because before it was banging against the body constantly. So I have it adjusted out so it doesn't hit the body anymore. But really, if I had more time, I would build a spacer to lengthen this slot. So this slot would go into a spacer, the spacer would go into the rubber there, so I could bring it out even more. But at the moment, we have no time and we have no budget. So, carrying on. But with this job, I've got a feeling that, you know, when I get back from Florida, I'm gonna be giving them a call. Hey, come out, we're gonna tidy up a few things on this car. Well, we are getting there. We got the fuel filler on. Whole back end is pretty much put together. It's coming along, but I gotta show you guys something that really upsets me a lot. I guess whoever worked on this car last time just started grinding away on it, on the spoiler, without pulling these things off. So these got all these chewed up grind marks. So stuff like this makes me just want to walk away and return the next day. But man, that is so annoying. Now I got to sand these down, mask them out, spray them. Yep. We got a great labeling job here too. We got right rear, okay, and on this one we got left rear, and we got left, and then we got right left. Well, that went about as well as it could have gone. I can't even tell you the stress level of popping these rivets on there. It was about 8.367 out of 10 stress-wise. These rivets are terrible too. They kept breaking with the mandrels, leaving me like an inch hanging off, so I gotta file them down and clean it up a little bit, but it's on. Thank goodness. It went okay. While I was squeezing the rivet, I could hear the fiberglass like creaking and cracking, and oh, it's just an awful sound. Stress. Okay, wipers are installed, but I do have a little caution sticker there because they should not be turned on. I don't know if I mentioned it this episode, but the mechanism is completely messed up. It's actually skipping teeth on both sides. So the fear in that is if it skips teeth on the way up but grabs on the way down, then the wiper arm could come down and scratch the wiper against the paint here. So that's just the way I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna walk away, and yeah, that is it. Well, the compressor's a little noisy, but in here, I reached in as far as I could. Yeah, I got a little run, but we'll deal with that later. But this, I got paint on mostly all of it. This little area I'm not happy with. So we're gonna mask off this area and just shoot in a little rubberized gravel guard. That should finish it off pretty nicely. Show you guys why I assemble everything before any chances of wet sanding and polish. Remember where that big run was right here? Yeah, well, I don't got to deal with it. Sweet. Looks great. Here's a quick little tip for you guys. So anytime you have a hinge like this where there's tons of adjustment for the door, just drill yourself a couple pilot holes that are out of sight, and then from there, you just take your little drill bit and then you slip it through, make sure it's going through both, line it up, and then bolt it down, because that's exactly where it was before you unbolted it. And here we have it. Pilot holes, drill bits are out, and kaboom. Okay, so I've got these panels trimmed up so they fit perfectly in the spot, covering up previous guy's disgusting welds. Now, where do we put the rivet holes? I don't know. I don't have x-ray vision, and neither do you. But I got a trick for that. We're gonna put one right there. We're gonna do one right there. We're gonna do one right there. All right, we'll do a rivet every 3 inches. Dab some white paint on top of the pink paint. There we go. And quickly, we line it up where we want it. And we set her down. And then you inchworm your hand across it. And then that should show us where we need to drill our rivets. So the ones that we missed, I'm just putting a spot right near the edge. And then I'm gonna run a straight line there and mark off exactly so they're perfectly in a row. Same with this here. Well, here's a little PSA, a public service announcement from your friends here at Slick Works, i.e. me. This is also a note for my future self. Don't ever buy arrow rivets. Absolute garbage. They do this, where the mandrel snaps, where the gripping teeth are inside your rivet gun, and then you're left with this. So you gotta get it's supposed to look like this, clean, beautiful. But if it doesn't, you gotta get your vice grips and rock it back and forth, and then I'm gonna have to mask off each and every one of these to grind them down so that the heads are flush and not super sharp and hideous. So, yeah. Well, now I'm just going through some stuff. I got some 150 grit and 180 grit and 220 grit and 320 grit. Stuff that I didn't do, but I gotta fix it to make it look good. Stuff like this hideous mess. I guess whoever started on the quarter panel fiberglass just kept on sanding. So I'm gonna give this a scuff. Middle section I'm just gonna leave glossy. Both corner sections, we're gonna do the European gravel guard because that stuff is what I use for the splash guard and it looks really nice, so yeah.
Surprised is glass.
Yeah, that's why I would have been nice if it was plexiglass because I would have loved to have been able to shave it down instead of cutting the whole quarter panel apart, but Now that we're here, we can set it down a little bit. And then back in first.
Could even go up a little bit more. Yeah. So he hasn't seen it live yet, like this?
No, I've sent him a few little teasers, but that's it. Okay, doors are hung up and cleaned, all sanded out in 800. Also, I got Kevin a nice little surprise for him. So this little Daytona, I'm just gonna paint the same color as his car while it's in here. He's been just an awesome client, customer, and friend. So yeah, just a nice little treat for him. Okay, well, tonight, it's actually almost midnight. Tonight is the last night I'm gonna be working on this thing. Just gonna button it up, put the mirror on, the check straps, as well as fix, other side, as well as fix what happened here. This door was terribly sticky. No idea how this even happened. We got this horrible chunk taken out of the paint. So, yeah. So there is a solution there. So in the kit we have these pieces, but they're really ugly. They don't really cover anything. I honestly don't even see the point. So I'm gonna make some pieces that will look a little bit better for the car. And yes, he knows about it. I don't keep secrets about stuff like that. Okay, so this is what we're making for it. So I can actually, where these the rivets are, I could feel where the fiberglass is thick and I can feel where it's thin. So I think we'll be pretty safe right there. I'm also gonna use some rivet washers to go on the backside, and I'm gonna leave a little bit of a lip. We're gonna have a lip coming up right there, and then that I'm actually gonna pound down so it'll sit at like a 90, and yeah, it'll look really nice. So that's what we're going for to hide this little mess up. Yeah, because at this point, there's not a whole lot we can do about that. Okay, well, I'm just gonna cut out 2 pieces that look something like this. And we'll see how it turns out. Okay, just got back from Metal Mart and I have these water jet cuts. So I gotta bend this angle over and then these will be installed on the door where I had my little boo-boo. Well, although they were water jet cut, they still were riddled with imperfections. So I hit them with a few different files and now they are basically perfect. So, to start polishing, I'm going to hit it with 220, 320, 400, 600, 800, and then 1,000, 1,500, and then I'm going to start polishing it up, so then it'll have a mirror-like shine. Drill some holes in it, rivet it to the car, done. Okay, so these pieces are now sanded out in 3,000 grit, and this is the difference. This is how they came in. I'm assuming like 320 or 400 or something. This is 3,000. Although it doesn't look like much, you're gonna watch it transform before your eyes. Just for comparison purposes, I just wanted to show you guys the piece that came with the kit. So this is what you're supposed to install there. This big, ugly, thin thing that doesn't really make much sense. That's the Factory 5 design. There's the Slickworks design. You decide which one looks better in your opinion. Well, let's see if these pop rivets work without snapping the mandrel. That one worked. That one worked too. Excellent. So now those are done and look fantastic, but I want to do something about this hideous mess in here. So the doors, I guess I've seen some guys put like kill mat in there. I've seen some guys put like fabric in there. I got another idea, and this is gonna be real quick, probably only take me like 10-15 minutes, and it's gonna look awesome. Going back to my second favorite product of all time, Proform European Texture Rubberized Gravel Guard. This stuff is fantastic. This is about as good of a masking job as I need to do for this area. European Gravel Guard stuff, it doesn't really overspray, it just kind of spits out. Also, I'm not even really going to sand this down and prep it because it's not going to see any weather. I mean, literally no one's ever even going to touch in here. So we've got some adhesion promoter. So I'm just going to shoot some adhesion promoter in there, and that's going to be good enough. We're going to go straight to the gravel guard after that. Okay, so that's it for coverage. We have full black coverage on the inside of the doors. So once that cures, or almost cures, I'm going to go way back with my can and hose it down, and that's going to give us the texture that we're after inside the doors. So I'll show you guys that when it's finished. Well, we got a huge day today, guys. A huge day. The Daytona is all cleaned up. I just wiped it down with some microfibers and glass cleaner. It's fiberglass, so I figured glass cleaner would be... No, it didn't land. Okay, well, he's coming to see the car for the first time, so I'm going to set it up. We're going to do the grand reveal, put the camera on a tripod, open up the bay door, gone in 60 seconds style. And yeah, he is going to wet himself. Can't forget to give him this, too. Yeah, he's gonna love that. Presenting your car, sir.
Oh my god. Look at that. That's sick.
Beautiful.
That's sick.
Yeah, right?
Looks like something...
I told you when you will recognize.
Wow. Oh, man. Tired of it. It's retarded.
Oh, it's beautiful, man.
I mean, I was expecting to be sexy hot, but this is a whole new... It's fucked, man.
I got one more thing for you.
Oh my god, really? Where'd you find that?
I bought the Hot Wheels and then I painted it so it matches your car. That's cool, eh?
That's funny, man.
Yeah, man. That couldn't have possibly gone any better. In fact, he said, the car's insured. Feel free to take it out for a rip if you want. And as always, thanks for watching Slickworks, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, there's much more like it previous and many more to come. Hit that subscribe button. A like would also be appreciated. Comment below. Tell me where you're from. Next episode, you're probably going to see this car get some spirited driving, shall we say. So looking forward to that. Thanks for watching. Bye.